were talking about actionable threat intelligence. And that's a very sticky sort of thing to try to define because it's a very hot topic and hardly anyone really knows what they mean when they say it. So a lot of the discussion was around that. It's very important, everyone acknowledges this, it's important to share threat intelligence, but exactly how much and with whom and how often and to what detail that's the thing, the stickler. And so one of the panelists pointed out, for example, that if you are sharing threat intelligence with a peer who is a competitor, and you're talking about what you are detecting, you are also telling your competitor what you are not detecting. So that was a very interesting point for him to make. I was in elementary school. No, I was 20 years ago, as a matter of fact, I was here in London. And I had just moved here. I was working for Swiss Bank Corporation. And they moved me here from Zurich to take charge of the security aspects of the merger that it was doing with SG Warburg. So I was starting in the security field specifically at that time and doing it here in London. So I'm delighted to be back here 20 years later. Oh, that is really hard because there are so many problems. I think one that is coming to the fore but not being talked about enough is simply the relationship between threat researchers or hackers and the rest of the world, because we've been a very insular group all this time. People don't really understand what threat researchers do. They feel very threatened by things that make the headlines. And in the absence of understanding what the purpose is behind this, and the media overinflates it, they start to see these threat researchers and hackers as the adversary. And you see this being reflected in legislation that is being written to try to stop this sort of research, to criminalize it. And I think until we as an industry and as a community communicate better with non-technical people about what we're doing, and when we can get better about teaching them the difference between a white hat and a black hat hacker, for example, if we can't define that ourselves, how are they supposed to understand that? So I think mending the relationship between hackers and everyone else is probably one of the largest unsolved problems.